you've been able to go around and give speeches and talk to people, but this book is the full story, like no one's heard it, right?
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because during my incarceration, I never did interviews with media about the crime or anything. And not until I came home was I aware that the whole city of Springfield, where I was convicted at, was saddened, and now they were jumping with joy in news stations and TV stations, radio stations. Everybody was happy. Judy Henderson is released. She's home. Even the prosecutor was happy that it helped me come home. So that's what's crazy.
Yeah. Well, in that and in talking to people, I think you probably found even further, positive feelings and further strength in telling the story because there probably was some apprehension about telling the full story, right?
Sure, there was. Sure, having to relive all of that pain and agony again, and knowing that it was going to be out there in your family and children were going to actually see the pain that you did suffer during those incarcerated years that you hid from them. So I kind of wanted to prepare my daughter and my son and my siblings that it's going to be hard to read. And if you don't want to read it, I fully understand. You don't have to. And my daughter still hasn't decided if she can yet or not, but that's okay. Someday.
Well, hey, and you're out there for your kids, your grandkids, and great grandkids now. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
that's the silver lining, right?
Woo!
Yeah. And hey, those are the best times anyway, right?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah,
Uh,
they're always surprising me with something.
yeah. So what was the hardest thing to get used to after coming out? Because things change all the time, and then all of a sudden you come into this completely digital world, and you're like, "Whoa, what happened?"
Well, that has probably been my most stressful thing is technology because it changes all the time. I can't learn it and think I've got it. And then I get up the next morning and why doesn't the computer work now? What happened? You know? So it's like, oh, we changed something. Oh, okay. All right. So I would say technology was really, really tough. And another thing that was really tough that's easy for all of you is what you want to eat. I haven't eaten some of this food in decades. I spent more time in prison than I did in the free world. So I was used to beans 3 times a day, so that was our protein.
That's amazing and so great that you're able to tell your story. And I know there's a lot of potential authors that are thinking about telling their story, but they're not quite sure. What advice would you give somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps? Because you can't make a positive impact by doing something like this.
Right. You want to be sure that you have a message that's going to help people. And I think that that is probably that's the main reason I'm telling it, because I want people to know no matter what tough situation you're in, there's always a way out. You just have to believe on it, stand on it, and be determined and resilient and know that you can do it. You don't have to be a victim. You choose to be a victim. So don't be a victim anymore. Be a victor and fight whatever it is that you don't like about whatever it is you're going through.
I love that. My co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys. You may remember caught the
Oh
Hail Mary. Yeah, went in the Hall of Fame.
yeah. And I'm a big football fan now.
Yes.
Yahoo!
I love it. Well, so we always make sure that we ask people their Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career where you just had to go for it and it worked out for you. I'm so curious to know what that was for you, given your situation.
My Hail Mary moment, whenever I filed every clemency with 6 governors, and the seventh governor said, "You are free to go." Yeah, it's time
Wow.
served, and you get a pardon.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say after many many years of doing interviews, I've never heard that as an answer. So yeah, thank goodness too. No one should have to go through that, right?
I know, right?
Mm. Well, part of that is what we talk about on the show is that success mindset that you have to have, whether you're feeling it or not. And, I'm sure there's many waves of emotions. What did you keep in mind that kept you on the right path, even when the days were just so tough?
Well, I had 5 lifer friends that escaped, and one was on America's Most Wanted, and they kept saying, "Well, why don't you escape with Judy? Come on, what have you got to lose?" I said, "What I have to lose is my children, and my family. And that's what kept me going and fighting is the love, the strong bond that we share and still do to this day. Because love is a very powerful emotion. It can make you do crazy things and it can make you do great things. And so it was the love that I had for my family and children that kept me going and fighting every day to show
That's
them I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I got
yes,
this.
yes. Well, now of course you get to be an advocate for other people, and you get to give
Yes.
speeches and talk about, what is it that most people want to know, or that you think that they should know?
I think a lot of people, well, for one, people are very curious about prison, about the actual prison, what the experience really is about. But they also want to know, but how do you get past that hate? How do you get past that anger? And I always tell them, you can do two things with anger. You can get bitter or you can get better. Nobody gives a crap that you're bitter. A lot of bitter people in this world, but people want to know, well, how do you get better with anger? And well, you got to let anger not rule you. You got to let anger fuel you into doing bigger and better things.
I love that. So well said. And then, of course, I would love to see this now as like a movie or a TV show. Are you thinking about that right now?
Kinda.
Good, as you should. Well, you're probably thinking about, oh, who would play you,
You
right?
want to invest?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it would be a winner. That's for sure.
I hope
Uh,
so.
Amazing. Well, now from here, after the book, what's from here then? Because I know there's probably so many lives to touch from here.
Yes, Paul. So when the light finds us, I think it's going to expound into other areas that I hope will really help other people incarcerated. Like President Trump, he just used the one woman that Kim Kardashian got out about clemencies. Trust me, I know everything about clemencies, all the ins and outs, and I need to be on that board with her. She can handle the federal, I'll handle the state. That's just, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, yeah, you might as well. I mean, you never know who will see this, right?
I know,
Well,
right?
that's amazing. Well, we love absolutely what you're doing. We're going to tell everyone to pick up this book and keep an eye on what you're doing because I know there's going to be a lot more coming up very soon. Really appreciate your time today and look forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks
Okay,
for having
wonderful. Thank
me.
you so much. Okay, we'll
Bye-bye.
see you soon. Okay, bye bye.
Okay.